Maasai, again, I know someone is. I put my girero, Yerisharon, Avero, Sholai, Miami, Yellow, and Yamasho, Tangamanda, 1 year from my home, making the view young guy, Inturo Yeda, Yalagera, Kiera, never no Lord, and Kilario, Elo, Yesini, and was it was in the Yoborero, as she were mine, as she was Lelaria, Apollo, Evernepo, Mayana. Wasida yo borero bi ashe war mai nashe walelaria ebolo yeverne pugo mayana nasha engamola na mayana bolo mosiwa amana shewara bolo mosiwa ngalonya masho ngalo na iruru molocho bolo mosiwa eya shevagino bolo mosiwa na iruru mongomo bolo mosiwa o mainsida bolo mosiwa gidengela mare bolo mosiwa ski washo singolyo bolo mosiwa
We did it! As if it already wasn't enough that you just watched a 4-minute dance video. Here I am again. I cannot get over just how beautiful this music is. Like, I am so in love, and I hope you will be in love too after just having watched us dance and having watched me dance yet again. But I had to come in here and outro this video because it is necessary. We left you guys hanging on the last video. We talked about how we were going to, Nuhu and I, that's the we. Nuhu and I talked about how we were going to share with you guys how we reconnected again, meaning met again in Tanzania this time around. But unfortunately, we just could not get around to shooting that video. We had so much to do, you know, the enjoyments, yes, but we were also doing some important stuff in Zanzibar and in Dar es Salaam, connecting with the community, the local community, the women, the children, all things that I'm not going to necessarily share on here because I don't believe in that. The things that you do for people do not need to be shared. The good that you do in society does not need to be shared. What matters is what you've done. So we were doing all of that, and we just could not get around to sitting down to shoot this video, telling you guys how we reconnected again for the second time. And we had very limited time in Dar es Salaam, literally just 2 days, which in reality is more like 1.5 days because I had to fly out on the second day. And there was a lot, again, as I am implying here, that we had to do with the community, and so we just could not get around. But as you can see, from where I am no longer in Tanzania. Unfortunately, I had to come back home. Which home though? I mean, I think that the world is our home. So no matter where you are, you can find a piece of home. But I am home in my own humble abode. And yeah, so let's talk about the dance. So you would see that Nuhu and I were joined by some of his fellow Maasai brothers whom we met actually that same day. We had gone to Michamvi, which is where we met for the first time. And part of the reason why we went back to Michamvi was because we thought it would be so fitting to shoot the video to talk about how we reconnected in Michamvi, being the place we met. So we went to Michamvi, and again, unfortunately, you know, so many things I will not delve into. But by the time we were getting around to wanting to shoot the video, sunlight was basically disappearing, so many other things. But we had a good time in Michamvi, especially connecting with the Maasai brothers that we did meet there, who so kindly joined us in really celebrating and just having fun together and doing the dance. And so the song, you will see it in the comments or the description, I believe, but the song is by Clarisse, who is a Maasai musician, and it's just so beautiful. And so how did we come about doing this in the first place? I think it speaks to what Nuhu and I were talking about in our previous video, just that culture exchange, that friendship, that learning, that growing, that togetherness that comes when you genuinely connect with people, right? So Nuhu and I meeting for the second time was just serendipity. Number one, before going to Zanzibar this time around, this is me telling a little bit of the story, I had tried to get back in touch with Nuhu, but I couldn't, I didn't succeed in getting a hold of him via WhatsApp and all the different sort of mediums that we had communicated through before. And so I went there without having gotten a hold of him, but I was really hopeful that I would meet him. One of the last attempts was that I had reached out to one of the phone numbers that he had previously reached me through in November 2024, and it happened not to be his number, but that person wanted to know who I was, and I'm like, I'm looking for Nuhu, I need Nuhu's number. And anyway, through the exchange, I ended up getting Nuhu's number, but unfortunately, I still couldn't reach him via that number before coming to Tanzania. But when I did get there, you know, I would say the spirit spoke to me on a certain day. It was like day 4 or something into my trip, and I literally had to ask someone to be like, hey, I need to call a local number and I don't yet have a local SIM card. Can I use your phone to, you know, call this person? And they obliged. They gave me their phone. I called on like the second ring. Knew who picked up, and he was shocked to hear my voice. He was shocked that I was in Tanzania. I was just so elated that he actually picked up, because you just never know whether people are even going to, you know, receive a call or, you know, much less pick it up. So that moment in itself was just a blessing. And little did I know, that same day I reached out, I got a hold of Nuhu. He literally, because he did not know how long I was going to stay in Tanzania, in Zanzibar, he set out all the way, and I mean all the way, like a 24-hour journey from his village, his Maasai village, which is all the way, like, I think past Ngorongoro. Like, if you understand the geography of what I'm narrating, we're talking about deep into the trenches of the mainland of Tanzania and coming all the way to Dar es Salaam and then crossing using the ferry to Zanzibar. So it was quite a journey, and I was so surprised because I was in Stone Town that day. That was the following day after I reached out to him, and my driver, whose phone I had used to call him, after I'd done my whole tour of Stone Town that day and we were like set to leave, he tells me, your Maasai friend, he says he's coming, he's here. And I'm like, wait, what? And I will insert that moment here.
No! Oh my God! No!
I was just in shock. It's like I shocked him and then he shocked me back, because little did I know Nuhu had been traveling all night to Zanzibar and had arrived in Stone Town, and he had been in contact with my driver whose phone I used to place that call. And yes, he surprised me, and I was just like more than elated, right? Like, I actually think like my heart jumped out of my chest. I was just so happy, and so was he. And I remember when he came into the car, he said something that really just defined that moment. He was just like, my heart is open, you know, I feel at home, right? And so that sense of feeling at home in someone's presence, that sense of feeling at home in the midst of people that feel like yours, it's something that I have experienced, right? Not just once, not just with Nuhu, but I've experienced many times in my journeys, you know, around the world. And it's just such a unique feeling, and such a full feeling that I, you know, want all of us to experience that. And that only comes from when you open your own heart and when you are receptive to people of different, you know, backgrounds, of cultures, of ideas, of perspectives, right? So there's so much that is in the world for us, and really it is only our own selves, our own views, our own barriers that keep us from these sorts of encounters, keep us from these very nourishing and you know, enriching experiences and sort of friendships and relationships even beyond that. And so all of that to say, that is how we actually met. And what was even more serendipitous about it was that I had gotten an apartment in Zanzibar, which turned out to be a 3-bedroom apartment. And I remember going in and just being like, wow, we have a 3rd bedroom. You know, I wish, you know, someone was visiting, or that, you know, someone else, like more people joined on the trip, so that, you know, the spare bedroom could be used. Again, little did I know that, you know, already God had it in his plan that Nuhu would literally just come from nowhere, in a sense, and that became his bedroom. And that gave us so much quality time to spend together during my weeks in Zanzibar. And again, led to so much learning for me. We had so many, you know, very eye-opening conversations and topics far and wide, from education, girls' education, polygamy, which is something that we were also hoping to talk about. I, learned new perspectives and different ways of looking at polygamy that would be so interesting to delve into in a bigger conversation. I'm still thinking about how to bring that to you guys, because that was something we wanted to also bring to you guys as a pair, right? Because the perspectives are not entirely mine, but I learned so much. And one of the things that I also learned during that time was about Maasai music. Prior to this time around getting to spend this quality time with Nuhu, I had never listened to Maasai music. I knew nothing of it. I didn't know the rhythm. So my introduction to Maasai music came in this very brief period of time recently, when something was happening and I heard a sound, and it sounded to me like Awuza music. And I was like, who is playing Awuza music? And it turned out to be Nuhu playing Maasai music. And I'm telling you, like, if you come from, West Africa, you live in West Africa, you live in the Sahelian region, or you live anywhere where there are Awuza people, Mbororo people, Fulani people, you would know certain sounds. And so those sounds are sounds that I grew up with. Those are sounds that I know very keenly. So when I heard the Maasai music, I immediately thought it was Awuza music. And that just again shows you how much we are the same. I cannot emphasize enough, right? The threads that bind us. So we might have all these distinct, separate cultures. At least that's what we think, or that's how we think or conceive it. But these cultures are all intertwined, and these cultures all have a bedrock, a common thread, a common foundation somehow. And though they may be dispersed, we are always going to find ourselves, especially if we open ourselves to finding ourselves. And so for me, I thought the Maasai music was Hausa music. And I was like, what? Hausa music in Zanzibar, in Tanzania? Where is that coming from? Turns out it was Maasai music. And automatically, like, I fell in love with it, right? Because the sounds were so familiar. And the next thing was the dancing. So I came into the living room, and literally I think the whole time we were there, Nuhu was always on the Maasai channel on YouTube, and there was a particular song that he absolutely loved, and which actually spoke to something very meaningful, near and dear to his heart, which is girls' education within the Maasai culture. And the singer, I would have to find her name because I cannot recollect it right now, but it's a lady, and she's directly speaking to this particular topic. And I think honestly, in the time we spent together, I heard that song at least 50 times, if not 100. That's how much he loved it. But I also learned other songs, or I also grew accustomed to the sounds of other songs. And so one day, this is probably day 2 into me hearing Maasai music throughout the day, I was walking, through like a hallway into the living room, and he had a song playing, and I just started dancing. You see how my shoulders are? I just started moving, and Nuhu just looked at me like, you're dancing like a Maasai woman. I was like, really? And he was like, where did you learn how to move your shoulders like that? Between you and I don't even think these shoulders are flexible. Nuhu's shoulders are way more flexible than mine. And also, I think I'll post the links to some of these songs in the description. But you would see, it finally made sense to me as well why some of the Maasai jewelry is as it is. The big necklaces that they have, it's not just decoration in the sense of decoration. It is actually there to enhance the bodily movements that you have when you're dancing, the dance, which is really focused on the movement of the shoulders and the movement, really, I think, of the head and the neck, right? So that all comes together so beautifully when they have this jewelry on. And I will drop the link to this song so you can actually see that and see how it comes together. And so that was another eye-opener for me, that the previous time I was in Tanzania, I did get some Maasai jewelry. And I think that I had even gotten something similar way back when I was in high school from an aunt of mine when she had traveled to South Africa, just those big necklaces. And again, it was just decorative to me. I think I even used it as headgear to take pictures. Little did I know, really what the purpose was, right? And that again, as I'm emphasizing, is the importance of these meaningful connections, taking the time to know people. When you go to places, you know, going beyond the surface level things, not just focusing on tourism or the curated activities, actually getting to know people, delving into understanding who they are, where they come from, what their practices are, what they love to eat, how they like to dance, all of these things, and also sharing about yourself, right? Because it's an exchange. So that's really what I have been gaining from this relationship, as well as other relationships with people from different, you know, parts of the world, different cultures. Even in my home, which is America, it's such a diverse place. We have such an opportunity in a country like this to really foster that culturally diverse understanding, to become sort of, you know, PhDs in the melting pot, right? We do have that at our doorsteps, but I find that we don't make enough of an effort to step outside our comfort zone, to step outside what we know, to step outside our practices. And so we have to cultivate that within ourselves, to not just visit places, whether it's you visiting the next town or the next city or the next state or the next country. Don't visit it just to dip in and out. Don't visit it from a voyeuristic perspective, right? Just to look with an othering lens on what people do. Visit it with a genuine curiosity and an open heart, to getting to know the people and the place, and to building relationships, because I believe so strongly in building relationships with people wherever I go. And I think my friends fondly call me the president of Africa. Inshallah, one day we will have a United States of Africa. And inshallah, I will be the president of Africa. But I think the reason they call me that is just because I am that person with an open spirit. I am that person who will connect on every basis, at every opportunity that I get. And I just want to encourage everybody to open themselves up a little bit more than what they might have previously been practicing. And so that's how, long story short, but I hope you're getting you know, some nuggets from this about how I navigate the world and how I navigate travel and how I navigate personal interaction, be it in a workspace, be it in social spaces, be it in travel. There's a certain way that I approach getting to know people that I think can really bring very meaningful connections to your life and enrich your life in so many ways. And so it started at that, me just like moving as I was coming in from the hallway into the living room. And before you know it, this is me just like doing a full-blown Maasai dance. And I came to watch how the women were doing it on the TV, and I just continued. And I am still obviously practicing. I am still trying to get there to their level, but I just enjoyed it so much. And you know, from there the idea was born for us to actually do the dance together. And that's how this video came about so beautifully. There is a video of just Nuhu and I goofing off and doing it just on our own. I don't know whether you guys are going to see that. We'll see how I end up like putting it out there, if at all. But we thought to share with you this very beautiful just piece of enjoyment, piece of friendship, piece of culture that we put together on the beaches of Michamvi. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be coming to you another time very, very soon. We have lots to talk about, and that's it. With that, please, you know, engage with me in the comments. Let me know what you've enjoyed about this so far. Let me know what you're looking forward to seeing next. I do want to broach some topics that are different from what I've been talking about recently. I want to delve into love and relationships. So let me know what you want to hear from that, you know, bowl of soup. And with that, I will catch you next time. Ciao. And before I go, so this boo-boo, I got it. It's so beautiful. I got it from Kariako Market in Dar es Salaam. I encourage all of you to go to Kariako. So many beautiful pieces waiting for you there. Let me see if I can give you a better look. Wow, here we are. Just wonderful, literally. yes, so with that, let's bring this to a close. Ciao.